knows where this is going to. All right. So I'm going to leave that. You pick one and then pass the other to Bestman. Now, let's find out between Bamidele Deborah and Orike Bestman Isioma, who is going to be supporting and opposing the motion. Deborah, please open your paper. What does it say?
I'll be supporting the motion.
All right, so Deborah is supporting the motion, and that means invariably that you are
against the motion.
So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We now know the battle lines. They have been drawn. It's time for us to find out between Bamidele Deborah Princess and Orike Bestman, which one of them is going to be able to give us their points in the best manner possible. I beg to differ 2025.
This is I Beg to Differ on 92.3 Nigeria Info. The conversation continues in a moment.
So let me run through the rules to both my guests. Now, the thing is, you need 4 minutes, or rather you have 4 minutes for your presentation and your rebuttal. All right, is that clear? Okay, now, after the 4 minutes, all right, you also have a 3 minutes time allocated to you for your closing remarks. Now, the person supporting the motion will start with their opening salvo, with their opening presentation, and the person opposing or against the motion is going to report. Now, after that round, when it comes to the rebuttal, the person opposing the motion, that will be you, Bestman, you will start off on the rebuttals, and then the supporter of the motion will rebut after you're done. Now, for the closing remark, we'll revert to the original status, which is she begins and you follow. Is that clear to both of you?
Yes, sir.
Is that clear to you, Deborah? Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's start. As always, 4 minutes on the clock. Deborah, the mic is yours.
According to Brendan O'Brien, if you think that the internet has changed your life, think again. The internet is about to change it all over again. Distinguished panel of judges, moderator and presenter, my co-debater, and here present audience listening on various platforms. My name is Bamidele Princess Deborah, and I propose that access to the internet should be considered a human right. But then, what's a human right? Human rights are basic and fundamental freedom that every individual is entitled to. Examples: right to life, freedom and of speech and expression, right to education, etc. Internet access should be considered a basic right because it provides the best avenue where other rights can be guaranteed. My points are: 1. Access to the internet helps individuals to express themselves, share their ideas and their thoughts. 2. As a vast repository of information, internet access helps individuals to make informed decisions about their lives. 3. According to Article 26 of Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the right to basic education is fundamental. Internet access provides us educational resources with online courses, virtual classroom that makes education and learning more inclusive and accessible. 4. Internet access offers us a platform to take part in political participation through public discourse, engagement with the government, and exercise our right to popular participation. 5. Human rights are basic and fundamental freedom. That is everything. That is freedom that every individual is entitled to. Take note of the word fundamental, which also means necessary. The internet access is necessary, universal, inalienable, and indivisible, and is enshrined in various international treaties and conventions. I remain Bamidele Princess Deborah. Thank you.
Okay, 1 minute and 55 seconds. It's all it took for Deborah to give her opening salvo this morning. We will get to the opposer, the person who is against the motion for this particular debate. Should access to the internet be considered a human right? We have had several conversations about this on air. It's interesting to see how the young ones have their take on this subject matter. Stay tuned right here on 92.3 Nigeria Info. So we put the microphone on in front of Bestman, Orike Bestman, Isioma, good morning to you once again.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, all right. Now, it's time for you to oppose the motion. Once again, it's what you have been prepared for and against. In this case, your lot fell for against. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Now, once again, you have 4 minutes. Take time if you need to. You have 4 minutes for your salvo. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Your time starts now.
Good day, honorable moderators, prestigious judges, esteemed co-debater, respected guests, and my distinguished audience. My name is Orike Bestman, Isioma, representing CSS Okronodo, and I beg to differ on the motion which states that should access to the internet be considered a human right, which I give a resounding no to that question. First of all, what's the internet? The internet is a global network of interconnected computers or servers that communicate with each other using standardized protocol. Here are vital points to back up my argument. 1. It is not a necessity. Although the internet has many powerful tools in our aspect of life, we should remember that it is a resources, not a necessity like food, water, or shelter. 2. Economic challenges. Recognizing internet access as a human right who place enormous burden on government or private user to provide universal internet access. 3. It is not a neutral space. It is increasingly controlled by large corporations which dictate what content is visible and how information is shared. 4. Harmful content. Ladies and gentlemen, did you know that the internet can expose children to inappropriate content like pornography, violence, and graphic images? 5. Potential for abuse. Declaring internet access as a human right could open doors to severe government interference and regulation. 6. Digital divide. Even the nations where internet is considered widely available, digital divide still exists. 7. Overdependency. Internet access as a human right would unintentionally contribute to overdependency, making students more reliant on online for work, creating a platform for laziness. 8. Mental health impact. The internet holds variety of impacts that affect the mental health negatively, which includes cyberbullying, trolling, and harmful social media comparisons. 9. Privacy. The risks of data breaches, identity theft, and tampering of confidentiality will increase, especially to less digital literates. 10. Technological changes. The internet is not static. Technology evolves rapidly. What is relevant today can end up being obsolete in the next few years. I believe with this better and true points of mine, I've been able to convince you beyond reasonable doubt that access to the internet should not be considered a human right. Thank you.
All right, should not be considered a human right. He was able to do all of that in 2 minutes and 20 seconds. All right, once again, they are making the most use of the times allocated to them. It's time for us to now get to their rebuttal statements right here on I Beg to Differ 2025. Stay tuned, please.
I Beg to Differ Port Hackers Season 4 from 24 February to March 10. Witness bright young minds make a case as to why they have the superior argument.
Societies do not grow nor assume identities in isolation, because as Vince Lombardi put it, individual commitment to a group effort is what makes a team work, a company work, a society work, and even a civilization work.
In many developing countries, masses sell up their votes to non-people with questionable character. They recycle old corrupt politicians because their corruption scandal makes little or no difference to their voting decision.
Go beyond the tension, show composure, exhibit fluency, show your oratory skills, and win 1 million naira.
It is villain, malicious, uncharitable for you to sum up such temerity to belittle the capacity of our beloved teachers.
I Beg to Differ Season 4, February 24 to March 10. Tune in weekdays 10 a.m. to 12 noon on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
All right, 90.3 Nigeria Info. We're back. So we're done with the opening presentations. It's time for us to get their rebuttals. And now, as we go with tradition, we will get to the opposer of the motion, the person who is against the motion, to give his or her rebuttal statement. And in this case, it is his rebuttal statement. I come to Orike Bestman, Isioma. Mr. Bestman, good morning to you once again.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, all right. So it's time for you to give us your rebuttal, all right? And I'm going to give you 4 minutes as the time is allocated is in front of you. Make the most of the time. It's not a must that you must exhaust it, but so far you guys have been doing very well. So before I continue, can you hear me, please?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me, please?
Very well, sir.
All right. So here goes Bestman with his rebuttal, and the topic this morning is this: should access to the internet be considered a human right? Very contemptuous one. You have 4 minutes. Your time starts now.
Standing on the existing protocol, I still remain Orike Bestman Isioma. Still on the argument if access to the internet should be considered a human right, I still give an actively no to that question. And I would love to counter my opponent with this following point. 1. The internet is not essential for education. Education should be done in a way that you can see the educators to avoid distraction. 2. Also, the internet is not universally available. The internet is a relative recent innovation, and its infrastructure is not yet universally available. Yes, here are more solid points of mine that I believe that I want to use and enlighten you all on the reason why I say that access to the internet should not be considered a human right. 1. Traditional media. People can still access information through traditional medias like newspaper, radio, or television. 2. Public libraries. Most public libraries offer free or more access to the internet. 3. Infrastructure limitation. Many areas, especially the rural areas, lack the necessary infrastructure to support internet. 4. Cost and affordability. Universal internet access requires significant investment, which should be costly for countries with lower budgets. 5. Business loss. Did you know that the internet can reduce creativity and innovation in the workplace, affecting workers and also creating significant job loss? 6. Potential for government interference. Declaring internet access as a human right could lead to increased government interference over internet, potentially undermining internet control. I believe with these few points of mine, once again, I've been able to place you on a balance scale that access to the internet should not and never be considered a human right. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. 1 minute and 55 seconds on the marker this morning for the rebuttal offered by Orike Bestman Isioma. We'll be back with his opponent's rebuttal right after this. Stay tuned.
This is I Beg to Differ. The conversation continues in a moment.
All right, so we have Princess Deborah. Good morning once again.
Good morning, sir.
How are you feeling?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, all right. So lots writing up this morning. Are you ready with your rebuttal?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you hear me, please?
Yes, sir.
So I need you to speak very closely into the microphone. Don't be afraid of the microphone. And it is yours. It is your tool. It is your instrument. You have 4 minutes, as always. The timer is in front of you. Take your time. And your time starts now.
With all protocols duly observed, I remain Bamidele Princess Deborah, and I still contend that access to the internet should be considered a human right. 1. My opponents in the bid to advance arguments fail to properly articulate the concept of human rights. While my opponent has highlighted the negative aspect of the internet, my opponent should not forget in his presentation, he failed to realize that the internet is there to provide access to various human rights, such as rights to expression, participation, and speech. 2. My opponents made mention of the negative aspects and the wrong use of internet, but should we throw the baby away with the bathwater? 3. While my opponent talked about internet accessibility and potential abuse, however, such arguments can be used to explain the complexity of the issue, but there is need for nuanced consideration. We should not forget that it's crucial to know that internet access with its enormous potential benefits can be considered as a human right. Thank you.
All right, it can be considered as a human right. Well. If I were you, I probably would not want to be in the midst of these two having an argument over bole and fish or a rice and eba. They'll probably confuse all of us. But it's time for us to get to the closing argument. Stay tuned right here on 90.3 Nigeria Info.
I Beg to Differ Port Hackers Season 4 from 24 February to March 10. Witness bright young minds make a case as to why they have the superior argument.
Societies do not grow nor assume identities in isolation, because as society work and even as civilization work.
In many developing countries, masses sell up their votes to non-people with questionable character. They recycle old corrupt politicians because their corruption scandal makes little or no difference to their voting decision.
Go beyond the tension, show composure, exhibit fluency, show your oratory skills, and win 1 million naira.
It is villain, malicious, uncharitable for you to sum up such temerity to belittle the capacity of our beloved teachers.
I Beg to Differ Season 4, February 24 to March 10. Tune in weekdays 10 a.m. to 12 noon on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
We connect you to the world. We connect you to the vicinity. We are Nigeria Info.
Listen to me, I said this is a real situation and the government has to do something about it.
What are you trying to insinuate? All these people looting Nigeria's money?
This is Nigeria Info, in the heart of Nigeria. 92.3. We are Nigeria Info.
Well, we have some of the best, brightest, and most willing minds here in the studio for I Beg to Differ 2025. You've just seen the first 4. We have a lot of them coming through tomorrow, through this week, and even next week. It's not just about the money, but it's the experience, the challenge. I've gotten to see, pictures, videos from previous participants, and I see how well they've grown, how much more confident they are, even in the final debate and the final submissions from about January of this year. So get ready, ladies and gentlemen. Our resolve and indeed our curiosity just getting picked. But it's now time for us to get to the closing remarks from both of these fantastic contestants. So it's time for us to get to Princess Deborah. She will be giving her closing argument, and then we'll get to hear from Orike, Bestman, Isioma. So, Miss Deborah, once again, good morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
Love the blazer you have on. It's time for us to get to the closing arguments. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So, as always, we're going to tell you the timer. It's 3 minutes for your closing arguments. Take as much time as you need within this time frame, and please don't hold back. Say all you need to say for the closing arguments. And our team of judges, led by Sir Nkechi Wogu, paying very rapt attention to this closing argument. Once again, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Your time starts now.
Internet access has far-reaching advantages and disadvantages, but this is my conclusion on the matter. Internet access provides us with access to job opportunities, online entrepreneurship, and e-commerce platforms. Like I said, give a man a fish and he will eat for a day. Teach a man to fish and he will eat for a lifetime. Give a man internet access and he will build sustainable fishery industries, spread the idea to nearby villages, and help his fishery industry bootstrap microfinance schemes, healthcare, education, and everything else. In conclusion, internet access is necessary for today's digital age, but like it's said in Latin, modus in rebus, which means there must be moderation in everything. I think that internet access should be a human right within the boundaries of the laws of equity and justice. This is my conclusion. I rest my case.
She rests her case. 1 minute on the dot, ladies and gentlemen. We're back with the closing remarks from Bestman Orike.
This is I Beg to Differ on 92.3 Nigeria Info. The conversation continues in a moment.
All right, so Bestman Orike, it's time for you to give your closing arguments. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I need to ask you can you hear me, please?
Yes, sir.
Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
You have 3 minutes for your closing remarks. The judges are listening. Indeed, millions of people all across the world are listening. 3 minutes on the clock. Your time starts now.
Standing courageously before you still remains Orike Bestman Isioma. In summary of the pre-listed point, I would love to conclude with this. While the internet is undeniably a powerful and transformative tool in the modern world, We should remember that it is not a necessity in the way that food, water, and shelter are. By focusing on more pressing human rights, we can better allocate resources and attention to ensure the well-being of every individual, especially in less developed regions. While the internet can certainly enhance our life, it is not a fundamental necessity. The internet is a relatively recent innovation, and its infrastructure is not yet universally available. The idea that access to the internet should be considered a human right is a trendy notion that lacks substance. Proponents to this idea often conflate access to information with access to the internet. Jeremy Rapkin, professor of law at Gengem Masin University, once stated, "The concept of human right is stretched too far by increasing internet access as a human right. The internet sometimes undermines traditional values and social structures that are essential for human flourishing. From a practical perspective, declaring internet access as a human right is unfeasible. This means that it is not workable. Come to think of it, in fact, the internet is a two-sided sword with its potential to spread misinformation, perpetuate cyberbullying, and compromise personal data. The debate is over. It's time for we to take action. A wise man named Laurentizi once said, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step. So let us take that bold step towards a more sustainable future. We are the leaders of tomorrow, and the future is in our fingertips. So let us grab this wonderful opportunity. I am 101% sure that recognizing internet access as a human right is going to be a disastrous manner of approach. So let us work together to degrade and ameliorate this motion. Thank you, my wonderful audience, for I believe that I've been able to inculcate, elaborate, and evaluate the more why I believe that access to the internet should not and never be considered a human right. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Bestman, bringing it in the closing remarks. I do not envy the judges, but we have about 2 minutes to get to speak to them before we say our goodbyes to them, and we await the Herculean task before our judges. 3 of them this morning, led by Sir Ikechi Wogu. Stay tuned, please. All right, so Bestman and Deborah. All right, you can relax now. You can lean into the chair. Okay, you don't have to be so tense. Okay. All right. Amazing job, guys. Amazing job. You guys did very well. I love the way you look, both of you. You're well dressed, you're neat, and then more importantly, I think you both have made it very difficult for everybody right now to choose between either of you. Once again, the aim of I Beg to Differ is not to determine who is right or wrong, but who gives out their point, who is able to elucidate, enunciate, and most importantly, who is able to give them in a manner that creates the most impression on the listener. And I think you guys did absolutely well. But I'm going to start with you, Bestman. You are the last of 8 siblings. That shook everybody. I'm still getting messages on that. How does it feel? You have older brothers, older sisters. What does that feel like? 8 children.
Well, that's actually amazing for me because I have elder ones who caution me whenever I do something wrong. Actually, I have 5 elder sisters and 2 older brothers. That's we have 5 girls and 3 boys. So,
okay, all right. I need to ask you. Yeah, it's great that they caution you and everything, but give me age range. So, the eldest sibling you have, what's the age difference between that person and you?
Okay, that's this year is making her 36, and this year I'm going
What?
Yeah, and this year I'll be clocking 15 actually.
So she's about what, 19 years?
Like she's 21 years older than me.
Yeah. Deborah, now our jaws are dropped. 21. That's amazing. That's you don't need anybody to do anything for you. All you have to do is, oh, sister, I need this, and they just give it to you. They give you everything, right?
Yes, sir.
They try to get it. Oh, that's amazing. Well, I'd like for you to just quickly say a big shout out to your friends at school, maybe your family members, and maybe your teacher, whoever you think has been making this journey, this successful. Because I think you have done very well this morning.
Thank you, sir. So, first of all, I'll start by saying a big shout out to my teacher, Mrs. Chinonso Orike.
Okay.
She was the one that actually introduced me to this I Beg to Differ competition. Actually, this is my first time. Also, a big shout out to my best friend, Prestige.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's also going to be coming on Thursday to compete.
Okay.
And also the SP girl of my school, Sonia, she also encouraged me, and friends and well-wishers that also told me that they're going to tune into the station to listen to me. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well done, and a big thank you to all those people who saw that you had the potential. Deborah, do you by chance have like 15 siblings hiding somewhere? You sure?
No, sir.
You sure you guys are not 15 somewhere?
No, sir.
Oh, okay, all right. But you said it was a pleasure to be here, but were you terrified about coming on air?
No, sir. I felt this is a big honor. I wasn't tensed. I wasn't feeling nervous. I just felt like, Princess, go do it and get your money.
Oh, it's all about the money for you. Okay. All right. So in preparations, did you recite and present in front of a mirror? Did your siblings,
I didn't actually do that, but I had sleepless nights, and
oh, wow,
I had to prepare very well before coming here because I know everyone's listening right now.
Okay, talking about everyone listening, give a big shout out to your school and indeed the friends who probably know you're here.
Okay, I want to give a big shout out to my English teacher, Mr. Annie. God bless him. And I want to give a big shout out to my mom, Mrs. Bamidele Peace Udochi. I say God bless her because she has been a very great help to me throughout the season of my preparations. I say may God bless them and thank you.
All right, thank you. What school? What about your friends?
I'm proudly from Venocrest Schools, Port Harcourt.
Okay, all right. So, guys, I'm as shocked as you are hearing some of these amazing stories from these young ones. But unfortunately, the job rests not with me, but with powers higher and above my pay grade. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get the results from the team of judges. Deborah and Orike, Bestman, I wish you the best. I hope to see you guys, not just today, but going forward, maybe next year's edition. Whatever happens, I think both of you were absolutely amazing. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you, sir.
All right, so we have that quick break, and let's see what Prince Ali would have said. Nigeria Info's I Beg to Differ debate. Fantastic presentation from the guest this morning. These students are absolutely amazing. I think in all fairness, we need to give a big round of applause to the teachers and the family members who have encouraged these young ones today. If today is this intense, I wonder what tomorrow, Wednesday, is going to bring. I wonder what next week is going to bring. Get to the real knockout faces. Bam, 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 bam. You don't want to miss this particular program. But to the business and to the very difficult end of today's program, we need to find out which of the two contestants is going to go to the next round. This morning, we had the privilege of listening to Princess Deborah and Orike Bestman in the studio. I don't know who's going to win, but you are about to find out.
I Beg to Differ Port Hackers Season 4 from 24 February to March 10. Witness bright young minds make a case as to why they have the superior argument.
Societies do not grow nor assume identities in isolation. Because as Vince Lombardi put it, individual commitment to a group effort is what makes a team work, a company work, a society work, and even a civilization work.
In many developing countries, masses sell up their votes to non-people with questionable character. They recycle old corrupt politicians because their corruption scandal makes little or no difference to their voting decision.
Go beyond the tension, show composure, exhibit fluency, show your oratory skills, and win 1 million naira.
It is viliant, malicious, uncharitable for you to sum up such temerity to belittle the capacity of our beloved teachers.
I Beg to Differ Season 4, February 24 to March 10. Tune in weekdays 10 a.m. to 12 noon on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
This is I Beg to Differ on 92.3 Nigeria Info. The conversation continues in a moment.
All right, so I have the results, and I have to do justice to this right now. I am definitely going to miss either of them who doesn't get to go through at this stage, because what an amazing debate we've had this morning. Thank you to the listener, those of you who have been following on Facebook and on X, those of you who have been sending us messages on WhatsApp as well, and those of you who have just been patiently listening and soaking in the amazing presentation from these students. But now our job has reached its climax. Judge 1 gives that round 45 points to Deborah and 71 points to Bestman. Judge 2 gives that round 27 to Deborah and 28 to Bestman. The final judge scores that round 41 points to Deborah and to Bestman. 51 points. Ladies and gentlemen, another unanimous decision this morning, I Beg to Differ, gives that round to Orike Bestman Isioma as the winner of that round. Congratulations to him. Oh, amazing stuff. Both of them, they were so good. Very difficult. I do not envy. I do not want to be in this position when it comes to young minds like this. But indeed, the gauntlet was dropped and it was delivered. Congratulations to all our contestants, but particularly to the winners of this round. So, moving on, we'll be getting to hear from Clifford Omotoyosi and Orike Bestman. And to those who have valiantly fought this morning, we do hope there's another round in you, maybe next season. My name is Jude Omamigbe. Thank you for joining us on what is promising to be a fantastic edition of I Beg to Differ debate right here on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Good morning.
from 24 February to March 10. Witness bright young minds make a case as to why they have the superior argument.
Societies do not grow nor assume identities in isolation. Because as Vince Lombardi put it, individual commitment to a group effort is what makes a team work, a company work, a society work, and even a civilization work.
In many developing countries, masses sell up their votes to non-people with questionable character. They recycle old corrupt politicians because their country scandal makes little or no difference to their voting decision.
Go beyond the tension, show composure, exhibit fluency, show your oratory skills, and win 1 million naira.
It is villain, malicious, uncharitable for you to sum up such temerity to belittle the capacity of our beloved teachers.
I Beg to Differ Season 4, February 24 to March 10. Tune in weekdays 10 a.m. to 12 noon on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
I have spent my entire life